Hello guys, I'm Kiri. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about the car which never changed the design for decades. The hand-built car from England, Morgan. Today, Morgan is 110 years old brand. So everything starts in 1910 when Henry Frederick Stanley Morgan founded the company. Today, it's very small car motor company by the motor industry standard, with just over 200 employees and producing approximately 840 cars per year. In 2019, for the first time, the company is owned by the foreign company, the Italian group Invest Industrial. This is a bit strange because up to 2003, the Morgan company was owned and managing from the family members. Then, managing from some English business people, but on the end in 2019 they sold the company to the Italian investment group. But this for sure is not gonna affect on the Morgan cars. The first car created by the Henry Morgan in 1909 is a single-seater, three-wheeler car and it was called a runabout. Then he starts to producing two-seat cars, but again with three wheels, probably to avoid the British motor tax. On that time, the three-wheel cars were registered as a cycle car, but not like a car. So to avoid some motor tax, he was producing for purpose deliberately the cars with three wheels, because on that time the other cars like Austin, the owners of these cars they need to pay some tax, but actually the three-wheeler Morgans they also avoiding this tax. But in 1935 he started producing the four-wheeler, and the design and the materials, even how they've been making the cars, is very similar to today's cars. So how they make the cars today is very similar to the time when they've been making the cars 50, 60, 70 or 80 years before. So this is the idea of this car, to have something which is all made by hand in very old factory with very old machines, but in the same time is brand new. Also, we need to say that as well, the customers who ordered these cars, they are special people. They know what they want and how to enjoy with this little British beauty. About the materials, Morgan still using the wood for the frame of the car. Imagine today's 2020 and to use wood material to make the frame around the doors, frame around the panels is very strange, but this was the same way how they been doing the cars 100 years ago, with the using wood as well on that time to make the frame around the doors, the panels. So they keep this tradition up to today, and this is one of the things of this proper British car. That's why this car is very unique, because of the British tradition. The chassis is made from steel or aluminum for some models. Inside, of course, there are top quality leather everywhere. The engines, of course, they are modern. They need to be modern because of the restrictions. Today the engines they need to be on some regulations because of the emissions. So they need to install, of course, some modern engines. This beautiful car, what we have here today, is a Morgan 4.4. There is two-seater version of this, and as well four-seater version. This particular car is from 2009. Just have a look the design and think about 2009. So imagine 2009, this car brand new, but actually looks like 100 years old. Even today, the same car is still in production. Just the engine is different, how we said before, and today's engine is from Ford 1.6 liter. And how I said before, the engine, the emissions, they need to be suitable for the government restrictions. If you see the original 1936 Morgan 4.4, because for the first time, Morgan 4.4 is came on the market was 1936. So If you look the model from 1936 and the model from today, so you're not gonna see much more differences. The design is the same, the shape of the car is the same, just little differences on the grille, on the lights, but the fenders, wheel fenders, the bonnet, the seating position, everything looks the same how the car was in 1936. So I'm gonna say again, this is the idea of this car, to keep the traditions. And this car, how I said, is a Morgan 4.4 from 2009 with four-cylinder inline longitudinally mounted 1.6 liter engine and producing 115 horsepower. The car is, how you guess, just a rear-wheel drive. This is the very classic position: front, longitudinally mounted engine and rear-wheel drive. Absolutely enjoyable car. This is the true British car and the true, actually, classic car. Front, longitudinally mounted engine and rear-wheel drive. And the gearbox, of course, in this model is 5-speed manual, but from the beginning the gearbox was different, of course. But about this model, how I said, is 115 horsepower, and actually this power is more than enough for this very light car, just 795 kilograms. And the maximum speed is 185 kilometers per hour or 115 miles per hour. So this is sport car, how you can see, and then you can say sport car, but just 185 kilometers per hour. But how I said, the car is from originally the design and the conception is from 1936. So on that time, this was the sport car, actually the very sports car in 1936. So once the car being sports car, is sports car forever. So today, of course, it's going to be sports car, but the maximum speed, of course, how I said, 185 kilometers per hour or 115 miles per hour is not that important to consider the car like is sport car or is not sport car. The idea is different, just to stay stable on the road, to enjoy the curves, and to open the roof, of course, to enjoy the nice weather. Is absolutely fantastic car. The model 4.4 is one of the most iconic Morgan models. When the car came in 1936, was equipped with 1.1 liter Coventry Climax engine. Then the capacity went up to 1.8 liters from the Ford engines, but how we said before, now the capacity is dropped down to 1.6 liters because of the emissions. So there are many series of this model, from Series 1, we're talking about Morgan 4.4, from Series 1, Series 2, 3, 4, and up to today's 1.6 liter version. The car, what we have here today here is long, just 4 meter and 10 millimeters. Is wide 1 meter and 630 millimeters, is not so wide, but because the conception, how I said, is very old, and the old cars, they've been more narrow than by today's standard, but they need to keep standard as well up to today, and that's why the weight is very low. Also of the materials, of course, being used in this car, just 795 kilograms. But how you can see the car, there is nothing additional on this car. Everything is for purpose. Everything is designed nicely and beautiful. Just have a look. The engine is covered nicely and very tight. Looks very tight with this bonnet around the engines. The wheel fenders, of course, they are nicely designed. Everything is for purpose. Nothing additional. Nothing's to weight. Actually, the grille is just enough for the radiator, and the lights, the indicators, even there is not bumper on the front. Just amazing car, absolutely amazing car. Maybe what is in additional is just the third wiper, how you can see on the windscreen. On the windshield there is 3 wipers, but because the wind is very narrow, and they need to have 3 wipers, of course, for better visibility. But just have a look on the front side of the car, is absolutely amazing. Just very cool car. And when I see from this side, the car looks like Jaguar XJ actually XK120 140, but XK120 140 they came a little bit later, so probably they copy from Morgan. Morgan was the first car with this design on the front, and you can see the patch here on top of the radiator grille Morgan. And the lights, they, how I said, they are very similar to the Jaguar 120 140 models, and the fenders as well. And these grills, just have a look, the louvers around the engine, because the engine needs to breathe, the hot air needs to get out from the engine bay. The car just looks so amazing. And Morgan cars are absolutely unique, and how I said in the beginning, they're 100% hand built, because to keep the traditional technology. And of course, the customers, they are very important for Morgan. The customers, they want exactly this, the tradition of this car. You think probably because it's 100% hand built, probably you think it's very expensive, but actually it's not that expensive. They are affordable, and new models start just under £40,000 or 45,000 euro. So it's not that expensive car for 100% hand built. And still the Morgan three-wheeler even is in production, so you can order even the original Morgan three-wheeler. This is the car to make everyone smile, not only when you're driving, but just when you're seeing it. Then the new models, of course, don't think they don't improve, they do. Maybe they keep the tradition, to keep the tradition and technology and the craftsmanship as well, but of course they make them cars more safely, more stable, and that's very important. And by the today's standards, of course, everything needs to improve, everything needs to be by the safety regulations. So of course they need to change something on the chassis, on the frame, but the design is unique and need to stay how it was before. So that's why, how I said, they need to keep the tradition and the technology, of course, to make this car. And how I said, the craftsmanship is something very important. This is like Swiss watch, all hand built, all handmade, and of course it's very important for the British industry. And the new models, how I said, they came. The new Morgan Plus 4 is absolutely amazing. Even some differences you can see finally on this the new Morgan Plus 4 in the exterior with the new bumper of front, and of course the new Morgan Plus 6. This is probably absolutely amazing car, Morgan Plus 6 with the BMW powertrain. This car is for the true drivers. It's absolutely dynamical car. It's absolutely amazing car. It's the most dynamical Morgan ever produced. 6-cylinder inline BMW turbo engine. Oh, you know the BMW 6 cylinders inline engines, they are just amazing. They are working very fine. They're absolutely perfect engines. And finally Morgan, they decided to put this engine in the Morgan Plus 6, and with the turbo compressor, of course, producing 335 horsepower. So this gives absolutely performance of the car. The acceleration of the car from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour is just 4.2 seconds. Absolutely amazing how I said this is the most dynamical Morgan ever produced. Of course, all aluminum chassis with the weight of the car is just over 1 ton and 75 kilograms. Imagine 335 horsepower, 1 ton 75 is absolutely nothing. So it's very futuristic car with the very classic look. Just amazing. Just have a look again. This beautiful, absolutely beautiful Morgan 4. This is how I said, this is the most iconic Morgan model 44, and they're modifications with 2 seats only, or with 2 plus 2 seats, but the rear seats they are very little, so for little kids. But anyway, they do 2 plus 2 as well from this Morgan 4.4. The spare wheel is on the back because, how I said, the car is very compact. There is no space for the spare wheel, that's why they decided the spare wheel to be on the back side of the car outside. And the bumper here, you can see even something like bumper. So guys, I hope you like the video about this absolutely iconic Morgan 4.4. If you like, please subscribe my channel and see you next time guys. Bye!